In today's sharing, we listen to a conversation between a visitor and Sri Annamalai Swami, the close disciple of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. A visitor once asked Annamalai Swami about silence, the restless mind, and the struggle within. What unfolded was not a simple reply, but a doorway into a hidden truth, a truth that cannot be spoken, yet transforms all who hear it. Let's begin. Visitor asked Annamalai Swami, "Does Swami prefer that we keep quiet?" Annamalai Swami replied, "If you are silent, that is good. But if you have any doubts, it is better to talk about them and get them cleared up." Visitor said, "I think that I am now beginning to grasp what the I am is. It seems that this is something behind the body, behind the mind, behind the awareness of the body. I think that we don't automatically make a relationship with this I am because we feel that we lack a conscious acquaintance with it. We are accustomed to direct our attention outwards rather than inwards. We think about people and things because we are attached to them and for no other reason. I am beginning to realize just how hard it is to give up this habit." Annamalai Swami said, "Let the mind go wherever it wants to go. You don't have to pay any attention to all its wanderings. Just be the self and don't concern yourself with the activities of the mind. If you take this attitude, the activities and wanderings of the mind will become less and less. The mind only wanders around all day because you identify with it and pay attention to all its activities. If you could establish yourself as consciousness alone, thoughts would no longer have any power to distract you. When you have no interest in thoughts, they fade away as soon as they appear. Instead of attaching themselves to other thoughts, which then spin off countless other thoughts and ideas, they just appear for a second or two and then vanish. Once vasanas make thoughts arise, once they have arisen, they will repeat themselves in regular chains and patterns again and again. If you have any desires or attachments, thoughts about them will be constantly appearing in the mind. You cannot fight them because they thrive on the attention you give them. If you try to repress them, you can only do it by giving them attention, and that means identifying with the mind. This method never works. You can only stop the flow of thoughts by refusing to have any interest in it. If you remain in the source, the self, you can easily catch each thought as it rises. If you don't catch the thoughts as they rise, they sprout, become plants, and if you still neglect them, they grow into great trees. Usually, the inattentive sadhaka only catches his thoughts at the tree stage. If you can be continuously aware of each thought as it rises, and if you can be so indifferent to it that it doesn't sprout or flourish, you are well on the way to escaping from the entanglements of the mind. Visitor said, "It is relatively easy to do this for some time, but then inattentiveness takes over and the trees flourish again." Annamalai Swami continued, "Continuous attentiveness will only come with long practice. If you are truly watchful, each thought will dissolve at the moment that it appears. But to reach this level of dissociation, you must have no attachments at all. If you have the slightest interest in any particular thought, it will evade your attentiveness, connect with other thoughts, and take over your mind for a few seconds. These will happen more easily if you are accustomed to reacting emotionally to a particular thought. If a particular thought causes emotions like worry, anger, love, hate, or jealousy to appear in you, these reactions will attach themselves to the rising thoughts and make them stronger. These reactions often cause you to lose your attention for a second or two. That kind of lapse gives the thought more than enough time to grow and flourish. You must be completely impassive and detached when thoughts of this kind appear. Your desires and your attachments are simply reactions to thoughts that appear in consciousness. You can conquer them both by not reacting to new thoughts that arise. You can transcend the mind completely by not paying any attention to its contents. And once you have gone beyond the mind, you never need be troubled by it again. After the same realization, King Janaka said, "Now I have found the thief who has been stealing my happiness. I'll not allow him to do this anymore." The thief who had been stealing his happiness was his mind. If you are always watching with open eyes, thieves cannot enter. They can only break in while you are asleep and snoring. Similarly, if you are continuously alert, the mind cannot delude you. It will only take over if you fail to keep your attention on rising thoughts. Visitor said, "It is fairly easy to stop a thief from breaking into a house. You just lock the door. But in this particular case, the thief is already inside. First, we have to catch him and throw him out. Only then can we safely close the door." Annamalai Swami continued, "To believe that this thief is something real, something that has to be fought and caught, is just like believing that your shadow is some kind of alien intruder who needs to be fought and expelled. If you try to raise your hand to hit your shadow will also raise its hand to hit you. You cannot win a fight with your mind, because all your fights will be like shadow boxing. You cannot knock out your shadow by hitting it, because there is nothing there to receive the blow. The shadow will keep dancing around for as long as you keep dancing around, trying to hit it. There are no winners in a fight like this, only a lot of frustrated losers. If you start from the assumption that the mind is real and that you have to fight it and control it by manipulating your thoughts in some way, the mind will get stronger, not weaker. If a particular sadhana assumes that mind is real, the practicing of that sadhana will perpetuate the mind rather than eliminate it. The ego is just like a ghost. It has no real form of its own. If you see what the ego really is by inquiring, "Who am I?" it will simply run away. The mind has no substance and no form. It exists only in the imagination. If you want to get rid of something that is imaginary, all you have to do is to cease to imagine it. Alternatively, if you can be continuously aware that the mind and all its creations only exist in your imagination, they will cease to delude you and you will cease to be troubled by them. For example, if a magician creates a tiger, you need not to be afraid of it because you know that he is only trying to trick you into believing that it is a real and dangerous tiger. If you don't believe that the tiger is real or dangerous, you don't get afraid. When the cinema was first introduced here, some village people became afraid when they saw things like fire on the screen. They ran away because they believed that the fire would spread and burn the theater. When you know that everything that is happening is only appearing on the screen of consciousness, and that you yourself are the screen on which it all appears, nothing can touch you, harm you, or make you afraid. People who believe in the reality of the world are really no better than people who build dams to catch the water that they see in a mirage. Visitors said, "Sometimes everything is so clear and peaceful. There are times when it is easy to look at the workings of the mind and see that what Swami says is true. At other times, no amount of effort makes any impression on our chaotic minds." Swami replied, "Whenever we are in a meditative state, all is clear. Then vasanas, which have previously been hidden within the mind, arise and cover this clarity. There is no easy solution to this problem. You have to keep up the inquiry to whom this is happening all the time. If you are having trouble, remind yourself, this is just happening on the surface of my mind. I am not this mind or the wandering thoughts. Then go back to the inquiry, who am I? By doing this, you penetrate deeper and deeper and become detached from the mind. This will only come about after you have made an intense effort. If you already have a clarity and peace, when you make the inquiry, who am I? The mind sinks into the self and dissolves, leaving only the subjective awareness, I.